So it is so exciting that DigiBiz is really about shaping the adoption of new technologies by small businesses for growth and inclusion. So how do we make sure that we are part of the growth and inclusion of the economy of South Africa, of the world? And we believe that this is what the space is for. On that note, I will hand over to you, Rashida, to really tell us who our panelists are on this topic of plan and implement new technology projects in small business context. Hi, Rashida.
Thank you, Tobeka. Okay, so today we have an exciting lineup for you, definitely focusing on the topic. So first of all, we have Carol Jaji. Carol is the Digital Skills Manager at WITS Incubator. Carol has extensive experience in rolling out digital projects across Africa, Asia, and Europe. And then after Carol, we'll have Brian Banfield. He's the Managing Director at Artibius IT Support. Artibius excels in driving successful digital projects for businesses. And then finally, we'll have Polani Sidibe. He is the e-learning developer and business development executive at Digify Africa. And they are all about shaping impactful e-learning solutions, empowering individuals and organizations in this digital age. Thank you so much for your time and for availing yourself to share with our community panelists. Over to you, Carol.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Rashida. Like I said before, it's really great to be here. And I would like to commend DigiBiz for having or giving us such a platform where we start having real conversations about what happens within the realm of businesses, what happens within the realm of technology as well. And I think I am very happy to be here talking to you specifically about those two aspects, because I find myself, as someone once called me before, a serial technologist, because I have been a business coach, I've been a cybersecurity coach for most small businesses. And, in my other, moment, I'm also doing digital skills for everyone across the world. And I think that is very important. So the question around empowering or impacting small businesses with technology, I think is very important. And as you might know, a lot of people are very aloof about technology, particularly because they don't really understand what technology is. Now, if you go on Google or anywhere, or ChatGPT, for example, and you ask it what technology is, it's not going to tell you, oh, technology is AI, it's robotics, it's all those fancy high deep tech that we always see nowadays, because that is the notion that people have, that tech is something of a monster. It's something that is unattainable. It's something that, small businesses cannot, use, or businesses cannot use. But when you really look at it, it is an enabler. I consider it to be an enabler of innovation. I consider it to be an enabler of improving the efficiency and the performance of your business. So when you look at technology, you're looking at platforms and tools, and this could be various types. It could be hardware, it could be software, it could be applications. It could be people, processes as well. So all those things coming together and making things a little bit more easier and automating work for you and making it more efficient is actually tech. And I think, coming from the environment where I'm coming from at Tshimolohong, and I will tell you a little bit about Tshimolohong, but it's got some fantastic young people who have come through with their businesses, and they say, well, I have a great business idea, but I don't know what to do with myself. And I saw a question earlier on where someone was asking, where do I go for digital support? And I think I want to address that a little bit later on. So people come in with their businesses. Mind you, someone is starting up a business, or even if they are already at pre-startup stage and they're going into the startup phase, they come in and they're like, I have no idea what to do with this business idea, and I want to build something amazing. And then having conversations with business owners, you start realizing that people put too much pressure on themselves because they want to invent something new. And I always say technology enables you not only it doesn't enable you to invent, but rather to reuse whatever is already existing. So there lies our problem, where we try to do something that is totally too complex, but our ideas are great. And then you realize that the stages from pre-startup to startup to scale up takes us 1,000,000 years to get to. So what we do with those young people is we tell them, listen, we can offer you that support, especially if your business is going in a tech, direction, where, for example, we had one lady who wanted to, she had a waste management business, and she wanted to create a robotic arm that would filter waste, metal and paper and plastic. And we had to prototype the robotic arm for her in-house. And then we had to take her team and train them on how to do that, so that when they continue with their next business, they'll be well, supported. So that was interesting to see that you can actually help someone develop such a business, and now they are thriving and they're taking that robotic arm and commercializing it essentially. So the idea really is, I think we need to support each other, first of all, because there is no one business that has ever thrived on its own. So in order for us to be impactful and empower each other and actually make sure that we eventually digitize our businesses, we need to make sure that we not only use tech, but we also have people that understand how that tech can best be enabled. Now, there are so many ways or strategies of approaches that I think we need to look at. If one now starts deciding, I have a small business, what do I do to techify it? So what you will need to do is to look at a lot of things. But the one thing that I always say to businesses is, understand your business goals and needs and objectives thoroughly. What is your business? What are your goals for your business? Where is your business going? Where do you see your business in the future? And given that, you can then strategize and say, okay, I'm going to adopt some new technology based on the objectives that I have for my business. And there are so many things to consider. Am I able to access that tech? Is it accessible for me? The infrastructure and connectivity that I need, if you're going to need it from a hardware or application point of view, do I have it? Because you will encounter challenges, that is a fact, of that infrastructure or connectivity. And we've noticed nowadays, especially with this load shedding going about, a lot of businesses are struggling because of that. So how am I supported in that as a business? Training and support is absolutely always important, not only for you, but for your staff as well. If you have people that are helping you run that business, fostering partnerships with other businesses and reaching out to other people and organizations. I think there are quite so many institutions that are standing up nowadays saying, oh, hey, we can help. And they can help from a diverse point of view. It's not always financial or investment point of view, but there are some people who can help you with coaching, who can help you with ideas, who can help you commercialize your business and so forth. And then promoting awareness. I think one thing that we see more often than not is the fear of the unknown, because one has not yet implemented or has not yet seen or understood what technology is and what it can do for a business. A lot of people therefore becomes a bit aloof about it and say, oh, I think that would be so difficult for me. But I think we need to promote digital literacy or digital awareness and advocate for that, because a lot of businesses, more often than not nowadays, actually use technology. And it doesn't matter what form of business we are in now. We are just seeing technology advancing at a very vast and fast rate. So again, there'll be so many misnomers about, oh, so, I need to now learn how to be a software developer. I need to learn how to be a cybersecurity specialist. Certainly not. It's not mandatory for a business owner to know deep tech. It's not mandatory for you to know how to code, all those complex codes and stuff, but it is, I think, very important for you to identify your business, understand your business, and see where you can plug it technologically. It's always important for you to understand the fundamentals of technology with regards to your business. I was actually smiling behind the scenes when Christoph was talking about HTTPS on a website. And it reminded me of one gentleman who was running a business, and they had a website and literally got hacked in a month of starting off that business, and he lost everything. And by everything, I don't mean money, because small businesses will come to you and say, well, I'm not going to be hackable because I have nothing on me. I don't have any financial investment yet on me, so I'm okay. And only to realize that it's not only your finances that matter in your business, but it's also your IP. I think your IP is the hugest part of it. So protecting your intellectual property is utmost important. And when you do have a website, please make sure it's protected, because we have seen very sad situations where someone has to start afresh because everything went down because they did not pay attention to cybersecurity awareness, for example. So that HTTPS is very important. I preach that all the time. Never go to any website that does not have security. And this goes about to the rest of your business. Doesn't matter whether it's on a hardware, whether it's software, whether it's infrastructure. You need to be able to protect your business with all you have, because all these attacks happen everywhere. So another issue that we see popping up quite a lot as a challenge for people who are wanting to make their businesses impactful from a technological point of view is lack of policy management. So there is just no policy support. And we need to find environments or creative environments that will support our businesses as well from a policymaking point of view. So we see those as quite a lot of issues happening. But I would just like to say in a nutshell that technology is important. We can't run away from that. I'm sure you have seen from where we came from in terms of how technology has advanced. In terms of competitiveness, the businesses that are thriving now are businesses that are trying to use technology to enhance their performance, to be efficient, for customer services, all of it. So we need to, at some point, sit down and really identify which type of tech suits our business needs, and then we apply them. There are so many institutions, I've said it, like Timolohong. I will put the website down there, who are very helpful in ensuring that people with small businesses or people who have already started up their businesses are actually supported from a research point of view. They are supported from a digital support point of view. They are supported from their business point of view as well. Certain people come in, they don't know how to create a business model. Timolohong will come in and help you do that, support you on infrastructure-wise, because they'll give you, office space and working space. You will have your Wi-Fi and stuff like that. So those are the things that you will need eventually, inevitably, to make that business work, especially small businesses. So yeah, that is me on how I think the impact of businesses could improve with digital technology. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Carol. There was a question you were asking around, where do we see ourselves, where are we going? And it actually kind of reminds me of, I think this week, where Nusis Nomvuyo, we were having a session with our entrepreneurs. And the question is to think of ourselves when our businesses are, their turnover is 10 times more than what it is today, right? So if you can imagine that, what are the things you need to do to make that happen? So it just kind of helps me. I don't know if any of the entrepreneurs who were at that session who are here today kind of see that connection or that resonant. Okay, awesome. Thank you for that thumbs up. Okay, so at least, so it's very exciting on that. Any other thoughts, questions? I see there's a lot of engagement in the chat. Okay, Furi's asking, does Carol or organization offer virtual support? Okay, so it's in the chat and not in the Q&A. Please, our lovely attendants, our entrepreneurs, our practitioners, please go into the Q&A if you have a question so we don't miss it. In case there are some questions above, please put it in the Q&A. So you'll see the tab at the bottom. So answer that question, please. Over to you, Carol.
Yes. So currently we do not have any virtual support that we're offering. It's a very creative and innovative space. And we believe in the power of face-to-face, I must say, because we've realized that as more entrepreneurs come together and share stories, and then business coaches come in as well in the same place, we just find it more impactful having people in the same place. We are, however, because we've had quite a lot of inquiries from people across the country that are outside of Gauteng, we've started looking at making sure that our platforms have a wider outreach. So we're working on that platform where we can reach people from outside. But so far, it's a walk-in. You can walk in. It's in Braamfontein, very close to the university, and then you can come in and yeah, we'll help you out.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Carol. And I saw there's already one question that was that Brian has responded to, and also maybe he'll just go into that also in his presentation. And on that note, I think I will be handing over to you, Brian. How are you?
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. I'm well today. And Carol, wow, that was amazing. Thank you so much. I think you nailed it. There's a couple of points that I must absolutely, it was so great to hear from you, specifically regarding the security this side. Obviously, coming from an IT stable, it's a big buzz one for us at the moment, my word. But anyways, everybody, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being here. My name is Brian Banfield. I'm from our TBS IT support. Our head office is in Cape Town in Pinelands. And in May of 2010, I went to my wife with a crazy idea of starting my own IT support company. So with 500 business cards and a laptop, I went to Montague Gardens and started knocking doors to introduce myself and say, hi, I'm a new IT company. If you need anything, here's my business card, and please give us a go. And that started, as I said, in May 2010, just before the Soccer World Cup, probably one of the worst times ever to think about starting a company in Cape Town, and after everything that happened. But today I sit with a company. It's fantastic. We've got an amazing team, 19 staff members. We've got presence in the Northern Cape. So I saw Jerome, you joined from Uppington. We had a team up there this week. So hello to you in Uppington. We've got presence in Johannesburg and in Durban. And we're just really passionate about what we do. And I think the biggest thing is, from my point of view, is I understood very early on what really were passions of mine. And my passion is I love working with people, I love solving problems, and I love technology. So for me, I'm very blessed to do absolutely everything that I love doing. It bounces me out of bed in the morning. I love working with people, getting to know people, understand what makes them tick, and then how I can help them. What are they currently dealing with that's giving them a headache? And I have my clients bring those to me, bring me some troubles and some hiccups and some headaches. And then obviously I love technology. I love everything that some blinky lights, something that flashes and shines. I love cloud technologies, all these great things. And these all wrap together, and that's baked into the secret sauce that we have at our TBS. So today, in talking about planning and implementing technology projects, I wanted to focus on 3 areas for you today to give you some takeaways around this as you think about what you're looking to do with your business in the adoption of technology to enable you to run smoother, better, and to grow. So the first area I want to talk about is impact. And that's the one area you've got to think about when you start into planning a new technology project and its implementation, is you really have to be clear about the problem you're trying to solve in the business and what you're trying to achieve. Once you've defined that very carefully and very clearly, finding the necessary tool can be a lot simpler and helps you to remove a whole lot of other solutions and focus and dial into exactly what you need and what you're looking for. So sit down with a piece of paper and really sit down and write down what exactly are you trying to achieve with this specific project. Now remember, technology isn't just cool, flashy stuff that's on the internet. Technologies can be things like vehicles. It can be a new business process. It can also be the chairs we're going to roll out in the office. Today, I'm going to focus a little bit more on the blinky light stuff. So after we've really come to grips with yourself, and maybe you've got a small little management team, or maybe it's just you. I know what that's like, just being the only person in the room. Really sit and write down. Try to get at least 7 to 10 points that will help you understand what you're trying to achieve with this project. The next thing you've got to look at is the cost. All these tools have a cost to them. It could be time, expertise, and money. So the interesting piece about this is, and sometimes we work with small business owners who are struggling to find the money to pay for the technology when we've already done the initial step of working out the problems that it will solve. When sometimes as entrepreneurs and business owners, we just need to realize that we've got to spend a little bit of cash. We've got to be able to go ahead and do that. So the thing is to really go ahead and quantify that cost. And then you need to sit and think about, what change will this technology bring into the business? Will it make it easier for us to do business with our clients? Will it add a level of reporting that'll give me data that I need? And will it help me hold myself and my team more accountable? So those are also 3 great points to sit and think about. As an entrepreneur, one of the things is we need to hold ourselves accountable. We can't sit and clock off at 2 o'clock, go sit and grab a drink or something like that. We have to be accountable to our business, to our PTY, to our sole proprietor, to our CC. And sometimes these tools, correctly analyzed and understood at this initial phase, will help us hold ourselves accountable to our business. The next one, we move into the people phase. Depending on the size of your business, if it's one person, it's a little easier. The minute you go to hiring your first employee, you have to look at training. One of the biggest things I found is that when clients try to skip the phase of training, the actual impact and traction of a technology project is diminished, and you're not going to get the benefit that you're actually looking for if you skip or try to shortchange the training process. You then need to look at testing. If you have a business that let me maybe say you're looking at a business of 5 people or 10 people, when you get into a testing phase, it's important that you test it with yourself and maybe 1 or 2 other people. What we have found in the past is that entrepreneurs get very excited about a new technology or a new toy, and they roll it out over the whole business. And they steamroll the business with this project. And then it doesn't work. So they pack it away and they try the next one, and they pack it away and they try the next one. What it does is it causes a resentment in your staff towards the rollout of new technology projects. So first, test it with your small core team. Make sure that it's really, really good. And then once you're happy that this tool and technology and this project is exactly what your business needs, bring the team in and roll it out completely, having gone through that stage of maturity. Then you're not going to go ahead and weary the team with rolling out 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. You have a very cool core team of people that can do testing for you. The other one is to back this up with a strong SOP, standard operating procedure, or a process document, so that when your next brand new hire joins the team, there's an existing document that says, this is how we use the tool, and this is what is acceptable in our business. And that can make everything so much easier. I cannot stress this. Wow. The other one is stay on top of the tool. Check in with your team. Check how they're using it. Maybe they've found a better way and they can make it easier or smarter, and that the process could be updated. But don't think that once it's been rolled out with the team, it's just going to work now. Stay on top of your team and show enthusiasm for the tech and for the project. It will help with the traction that your team will get with this tool. And if they can see that management is excited and using the tool, they will use it also. Some of the hiccups that I have come in contact with is when business owners have no regard for technology and then wonder why their staff also don't implement what they've asked. If top and upper level management is not taking this seriously, I tell you now, your staff will not take it seriously either. And that's a hard uphill battle for you. So please be your own cheerleader. Our last piece for today is when taking a look at a technology project, I want you to keep scalability in mind. I started Artevius with myself, and then I won a contract. And I won a contract thinking that I was going to fail the selection process. And because I knew a person on the panel, they'd be able to tell me where I'd failed and where I could make my business better. In reality, they came back to say, wow, you're exactly who we're looking for. Everyone else didn't do what we'd asked them, and you went above and beyond. And they awarded me the contract. I then had 2 months to find my first staff member to fulfill the requirements of that contract. Always think about scalability. As you hit success, the market is going to want more of your product, and you're going to need more people and more technology to go ahead and deliver on your dream. So when we're taking a look at scalability, I want you to think about the kinds of software that we're going to look at. I'm using this as the analogy in scalability, is the software side now. I want you to think about small business tools and large business tech tools. When you choose the software technology that you want to roll out with a client or with your business to better serve your clients, one of the things you've got to think about is the company that's offering the software or the tool. Do they have a strong business? Do they have a good support structure? And do they have the ability to be around in 5 to 10 years? If you throw all your effort into a tool and that tool is no longer on the market in a year from now, that's going to have a very hard impact on your business, because you might have data in one tool that you now need to get out and quickly move into another tool, and you're going to go through another testing phase. So sometimes there's things like open source software, which is great. Don't get me wrong. It's great software. It's built by great people, but you've got to make sure that you've got support from these people, that they can support your business. So evaluate where your business is coming from, and don't be ashamed or reluctant to ask them about their business. Because when you choose a technology tool, you're going into partnership. And if they drop the ball, it's going to hurt you. So think about that. Also think about what scalability looks like for you. Think about, if you're like Christoph mentioned, Kailicha cookies, does scalability mean another oven? Does it mean another point of sale? Does it mean a delivery vehicle? Does it mean another oven, another baker, another point of sale, another vehicle, and another driver? What does scalability look like? And if you had to scale, what would your next step of scaling look like? And how would this tool move into the scalability? And then to think that you might be a small to medium, but your next step is going to be a medium enterprise. We've all heard those statistics. You know, most businesses don't make it to 5 years. Some seldom make it to 10 years. Those who can make it past the 10 years have a long likelihood of making it all the way. We are in this whole community, 94 of us on this call today, to help each other make it past 10 years. This is why I'm so excited to be working with Christoph and his team at DigiBiz. Because when I started my business, I didn't have anyone to talk to. But I want you to be aware that scalability is about business networking also. You have 95 people on this business who have probably gone through one problem in their business that they have had to solve. You have access. Now we've got 96 people. 96 people who've solved problems for you. One of the exciting things that I get to do is I get to work with business owners. We get to look after their technology needs and requirements. Microsoft 365, their website, social media, their laptops they need, the printers they need. But there comes a time when all of that is sorted and taken care of and running smoothly. I then engage with my clients and my business owners to work out how do we take this technology and use it to take your business to the next level. We're always thinking scalability. We're always thinking growth. So from that point of view, guys, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being here with me. I'm looking forward to lots of questions. My email address is there on the screen. You're welcome to get hold of me and contact me. You can also reach me if you need through the team at DigiBiz. Thank you so much for your time today. I'm all yours.
Great. Thank you. Thank you very much, Brian. There's a lot of emotion reactions there, as you can see. Thank you all for doing that. It's been very insightful. Lots of questions in the Q&A. Thank you all for going in there. Some of you, I see, Carol, you're also saying you'll respond to some of it later and answer live. And some of it you've already responded. But thank you very much again, Brian, for that. There's a lot of nuggets there. Like both your conversations have been amazing. But let's keep going. I will now hand over to Xolani. Hi, Xolani. And then so that later on we can have some nice conversations. So everyone, think of your questions, put them in. We might have you come in, so please feel free and happy to engage with everyone. Over to you, Xolani.
Thank you very much, Thobeka. And again, thank you very much, Carol and Brian, for laying down the foundation for me. I think we'll have more of a conversation with what I have to say because you've said everything. I think what I'll focus more on is the practical side of it and maybe lean more towards being a small business and not having a budget to implement technology, but you still need to use technology. So that's what I'll focus on in my presentation. Good morning once again.
I'm excited.
My name is from Digify Africa. And like I said earlier, we are a digital skills training organization, particularly focusing on the youth. We've been around for 10 years plus now. And our main mission is to bridge the digital divide and also help young people create their own sustainable livelihoods. How we do that in our organization is we have an academy side where we deliver free digital skills training funded by our partners. Some of our partners include Google, Meta, and some of the big technology companies. And the programs we run include digital marketing bootcamps. That's called Digify Pro. That's for young people who have no idea what to do in the digital space, but want to get started. Our bootcamp will give them the A to Z to get started. Then we have a similar program for those young people, but who are based in rural areas and peri-urban areas, which is called Digify GPs. And we essentially teach them the same digital skills so that they can serve the small businesses in their community and nonprofit organizations like churches, civil society groups, and so on. Then we also train teachers, because we know that without the right foundation, you can't succeed in the digital space. If you don't know HTTPS, if you don't know what a URL is, if you don't know what a domain is, you know, those are the building blocks. And we teach that through our program called Ilizwe Lami and Digify Bytes. Then on our services side, we help big companies and small companies to deliver digital skills training using their mobile phones. So we've got programs that run on WhatsApp, and we also have programs that run on our Digify Africa app. So what I want to talk to you about is basically our experience of moving from 100% physical brick and mortar company to 100% virtual company in the space of 5 years, right? So I'm hoping what I'm going to share is going to inspire you. If you're a small business, or even if you are a big business and you're starting to think about, how can I digitize my business? How can I move what I'm doing to digital platforms? And how can I scale 10x, 100x, and so forth, right? So how we got here is that we realized that e-learning is very accessible, right? All the information is there. You can find anything online, but it's not very accessible for us on the African continent for a number of reasons, right? Mobile phones, internet penetration, internet speed, internet costs, and so forth. So before COVID, we used to deliver all of our learning in a face-to-face platform, right? And we realized that for us to continue and to be successful, we needed to look at a different way of how we deliver our learning. And for us, looking at our target audience, it was just a no-brainer for us that WhatsApp was the perfect tool for us to deliver our learning, but we did not have the features and functionality that needed us to deliver learning on WhatsApp. So we had to build the functionality from scratch. So as of today, we have a fully fledged learning management system on WhatsApp. So we're able to recruit and onboard learners on WhatsApp. We're able to create rich interactive content and deliver that on WhatsApp. We've got quizzes and leaderboards. We can track how far our learners are going. And we've built a dashboard that allows us also to track these different data points and able to collect that information and analyze it so we can improve our programs. So we were this company, right? We used to have an office in Melville. That was our training venue and our office space upstairs. We ran our program, Digify Pro, in that training room. And we used to have about 30 to 35 learners per cohort. So in a year, I would do about 3 cohorts, right? Which gives us about 90 learners. So this has been our model for a good 10 years, right? So when COVID started, we got a very interesting challenge from one of our funders, and they asked us, what would it take for you guys to multiply these numbers? What would it take for you guys to go from 100 learners a year to 1,000 learners? And that's where technology came in, right? We needed to implement a new way to recruit, first of all, because before we started using these digital tools, we used to put our adverts on social media, speak to partners, use newspapers, use radio. The guys would apply, we'd manually sift through the CVs, and then select them and then onboard them, and then they start their learning journey. They would travel to Melville from wherever they were coming from in Gauteng, every day, Monday to Friday, for 10 weeks until they graduate, right? Today, where we are, now that we've built our WhatsApp learning management system and our learning experience platform, since we've started using WhatsApp, we have trained over 600,000 learners. And we've delivered more than 370 million messages on WhatsApp. And the most exciting thing for us now is that we have a 62% completion rate on all of our courses. For us, this was a game changer. So you can imagine going from training 100 people in the digital marketing program, 1,000 people in the Boost program, to over 100,000 trained in a short number of years. So what I want to get into now is how we got here and the lessons we've learned, and how you can also implement what we were able to do. And honestly, it's nothing different from what Carol and Brian have said. Everything they've said was spot on. I'm just going to go into more detail with regards to that, right? So before I move on, these are our 4 lovely WhatsApp learning bots. We have Naledi, which was our pilot bot. And we also have Kitso, which is our basic internet safety WhatsApp learning bot. And we have Lisedi, which is our digital literacy learning bot, and Didi, which is basically our entrance to Digify Africa. So you can think of it as our website. So Didi on WhatsApp will give you access to all of our learning programs and anything you want to learn at Digify Africa. So just to share some of the lessons we've learned, and again, some of these have been mentioned, but what I want to highlight mainly is clearly defining what you want to achieve with these digital tools. There is no prize and no merit in just using digital platforms without a goal, because you're going to receive a lot of data using digital platforms. And if you don't know what you want to achieve, all of these things will be very, very overwhelming, and you won't be able to extract the value that you need from these digital tools. So set clear goals on how you want technology to help you in scaling your business. And the second thing is start with a very, very small project, right? Begin by trying out changes on a small scale. For us, what that meant was, instead of fully going online, we started with delivering our digital marketing program using Zoom, right? Before we built an app, before we built a WhatsApp learning bot, and we realized that Zoom was very limiting because yes, we could meet with the learners face to face, but when we were not in the session, how else were they going to access their mentor or their coach? How else were they going to access the learning content, you know? So from that small scale, we then realized that we need a learning experience platform that can help our learners when we're not there. From that point onwards, we built an AI assistant on our WhatsApp so that if you have any questions around digital marketing and you're learning at your own time, during the evening, you can ask Didi, which is our WhatsApp bot, which is integrated with ChatGPT, that can answer any digital marketing question. The third point also in terms of our lessons is focus on making customers happy. So what that means simply is, for us, we realize that there's no point in using digital platforms if our audience does not know how to use those digital platforms. What I mean by that is that if you look at banks, for example, banks are in the digital transformation process, most of them, right? They're trying to close their branches. They want you to go online. But if you go to any township, right, on the 25th, on the 30th, and on the 15th, you will see long queues at the ATMs, people trying to transact physically because they're very scared of digital products. They don't know how to use them, which means that banks have seen a very important process of educating their customers so that they can have a pleasant experience when they're using these digital platforms. So as a small business, before you even use any digital platform, find out from your customers if they actually know how to use digital platforms, right? Find out where in their digital skills level are they? How savvy are they when it comes to digital skills? Then that will help you make a decision of, do we implement the tool first, or do we introduce the education first? Do we teach them first and then introduce the tool, which I think is a very important step. And for us, WhatsApp was very perfect because we did not need to teach anyone how to use WhatsApp. They're already familiar with the functionalities and tools, but we had a different challenge when we started building our own app outside of WhatsApp, because now we needed to teach our learners how to use our app because it was a new environment. So that's a very important point that I want you to take home today. The other point is start internally. I like what Brian was saying, that he started his business and it was just him. And as he grew, right, he started getting other people. So if you're a small business, 3 to 5 employees, 1 person, doesn't matter the size, if you are not using digital tools internally to communicate, to collaborate, to write proposals, to find customers, then there's no reason for you to even start using digital tools for your customers. Start internally, make sure that your company, your team is very familiar with digital tools. And then the last point is stay informed and embrace innovation. What I mean by that is when we started our first WhatsApp bot, which was Naledi, ChatGPT did not exist. But because we've stayed abreast of everything that's happening in the industry, we're one of the first companies in the world to integrate ChatGPT with WhatsApp. And that's also because we work very closely with Meta, and we've been at the forefront of delivering learning on WhatsApp. So you have to keep on learning. If you don't want to learn, then you're in the wrong business. Digital technology needs you to keep learning. Almost everything I know now, I did not know when I left university. I did not know 5 years ago, and I've had to keep on learning. And my skaftin for today, the takeaway that you can start using when you get home. If you're a small business and you have a new idea that you want to test out, right? Or a business idea, you want validation. Or you're a small business, you're already trading in the physical space, but you want to use digital tools and you don't have a lot of budget. These are the tools that I think every small business should start using for free, right? One of those tools on my left here is called Zoho. Zoho will give you a suite of tools. One, there's a CRM, customer relationship management tool. There's also an emailing tool. There's also an invoicing tool and a help desk, right? And all of these things can be integrated into one system, and you can access this for free, and you don't have to pay for the first 24 months. So this is a good way to test out and try new things. Then internally in your business, Slack and G Suite are the perfect tools to try out to communicate and collaborate with your team members. And then the obvious ones. There's over 2 billion people on Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram. So if you're looking for customers and you have not started using any digital tools as a small business, you have to use one of these from the Meta Suite, and you'll be good to go. So that's where I will end today. I hope I did not take too much time. If you would like to reach out to me and contact us at Digify Africa for either one of our workshops, or you would like us to maybe come into your community and teach small businesses about digital tools, you can contact any one of these people, preferably me, because we will have background and you would, we've spoken before. So that is it from me. If you do have any questions, please put it in the chat. Thank you very much for attending, and thank you very much, DigiBiz, for allowing us to share our passion of helping small businesses becoming digital and equipping young people with digital skills.
Great. Thanks, Xolani. Thank you very much. This is exciting. Talking about how you guys were working in person and then transitioned over to be an online company, by the way. I know Gavin, and at the very beginning in 2020, when COVID happened, he was in we did a webinar around how leaders can handle the transition being in-person work to 100% online. So you guys are just awesome, and your time, the time, the length of your organization talks to that, and it's exciting. I'm very happy. Thank you for your time. Thank you for everyone. I think it has been one of those, a lot. I'm just slowing down because I'm just wanting all of this just to land. What you all shared, from Carol to Brian to Xolani, it has been amazing. And I think the emotions, the reactions that people are sharing talks to that. So let's take a second to just appreciate, because I think we're humans in this technology, so we need to balance the two as well, right? Christoph, are you there?
Yes, I am, and I am. I'm so happy, because what could feel so intimidating, especially if you're starting out thinking about implementing new technology projects, sounds like something that one can handle.
Yeah. And I like the way they break it down, you know, it's broken down. Brian shared it. You all did, you know, just do it in small bites and be open. There's a lot of questions in the Q&A. I don't know if Carol, you want to start with one that you said you'll answer verbally. I saw you had one there.
And just to clarify, sorry, Carol, just to clarify to Tobeka that we have the platform, so we don't have to rush and try and to answer all the questions right away. I'm sure we're not going to be able to, but we've got the platform. We can take the discussion into the platform. So that is why it's important for everyone here that wants to keep learning alongside each other, collaborating with each other in the learning process to join us there. HTTPS. As Carol said, and digibiz.net.za is where you join if you haven't done so yet. But over to you, Carol. Sorry, just had to make that point quickly.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine, Christoph. Thank you. I think Brian actually answered that very articulately, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I just wanted to speak to the question where someone was asking how they will best protect their website. And I just wanted to give you the example that I gave earlier of how the person actually got hacked. It's because they didn't have a good hosting, a secure hosting. So it's very important, first and foremost, to be able to choose a very reputable hosting provider that will emphasize security to you, because that is important. And I know a lot of these hosting providers will say, oh no, we can do this for you, but there's no emphasis for security measures, or they are not telling you of the features that you need to ensure that security is there, like your firewalls. There's something called malware scanning that you need, intrusion detection systems. I know it might sound quite technical now, but in essence, what we're saying is there is not one thing that makes your website secure. It's a combination of a lot of security features. We always use a term called defense in-depth approach, where you're saying multiple things to get my security done, so that if the hacker comes in, they also have multiple things to decrypt before they get to the center of your assets. So that's what I will definitely advise. Just make sure you are in communication with someone who knows what they're doing and understands security and applies it. And then you can reach out to us for us to check for you if everything checks out. We are very happy to do that for you.
Great. Thank you very much, Carol. Sure, you guys, you've all been busy in the background as well. So I love how Brian, I don't know, Brian, if there's any, just to give Xolani a moment to catch his breath, any question that you want to go into deeper that you did respond to? You did a lot of typing, I see there, but feel free to add to that. Go ahead, Christoph.
Yeah, I wanted to say, if you haven't noticed, thanks, Brian, also for reminding us that we hit the 100 mark just about, you know, so, which is a good indication of the response, even in these times that we're battling to connect. Our recordings will be made available and summaries made available on the platform too. But in terms of using this tool very well, the webinar tool on Zoom, the Q&A actually allows you to actually check what the panelists have typed too. So if attendees don't have the Q&A window open, you should open it, because there's lots of information being shared there that's not being spoken about. So everyone click on that Q&A button. Even if you don't post a question, you can read what the answers are that's been posted there, and you can learn from the questions that others have asked.
Great. Thank you, Chris. Okay, so for Xolani, I've been exploring Zoho to host webinars. Are you saying I can use them for email hosting and invoicing? And how's the background support? It's from Michael Fourie.
That's Michael Fourie, yes. So I saw the Zoho webinars tool recently, actually. I was not aware of it. So it works exactly the same as Zoom. One of the businesses we work with at Digify Africa invited us to a meeting using Zoho meetings, right? So, and I've seen how they've integrated it, right? So what they do is, when you book a consultation session with that company, right, they use the Zoho calendar meets for you to book the consultation. Then because Zoho also has a invoicing tool, you use Zoho to pay. So when you click there and you pay, then they get the notification at the back, you get your invoice, and then you get the link, and then you are in the session. So definitely you can use it as one tool to do all of those things in one. So yeah, you just need to explore a bit in terms of what would be the best way. So we're not using Zoho at the moment, but I use it in my small business. And how I use it is for emailing. Definitely, I'm stuck with Gmail because I'm very familiar with it. And yeah, I have my own bias. But when it comes to books, setting up meetings, having those consultation sessions, I use Zoho and Zoho Meets and then Zoho Books as well. I hope that answers your question, Michael.
Great, thank you. Yeah, there's a thumbs up. I'm assuming that's him. Wonderful. And then Mtandeki says he's the founder of Improv Youth SA. We are a business of training youth with end user computing in the Free State. The biggest challenge has been getting to define our digital presence and how to narrate it online. We're offering ourselves as one of the beginners in this digital transformation because we are one stop for those who do not have any skills with computers. Carol, did you want to answer that live?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm a sucker for verbal communication.
No, don't worry.
Typing. So yeah. I felt like I should speak on that because we run a digital skills academy. And I think one thing that you need to be aware of is the fact that there are so many digital skills academies sprouting around South Africa. So the competition is rife, and you need to set yourself apart when running such by identifying, first of all, who your target audience is. It's very important. And what skills are you offering? I know end user computing, most people nowadays don't really consider it as an investment, if I'm speaking from a business point of view, because anything that's end user is now available for anyone online. Literally, it's on our fingertips now. But you just need to make sure you show the relevance of your programs based on probably the direction of your business, where it's going. What are you training for? I find that to be very important. Are you training for placement? Are you training for just giving people knowledge? Are you training just to tick certain, I don't know, boxes? Like what are you training for? And once you figure that out, then you can best place yourself. Being on a digital platform is the least of your worries. That won't be difficult at all. We can even assist you on doing that. But I think the challenge is always having a business trying to figure out where they stand, why they're offering what they're offering, and if that's relevant within industry, if it's relevant within their community, or are we just doing it because everyone else is doing it? So if you could, I can have more conversation with you on that, Tandegi, if you're okay with that.
Great. Thank you very much. And Brian, Olan, do you want to respond to that as well? Anything there?
Yeah, I did want to add something. So I think one of the most important things when it comes to digital skills is, first of all, understanding your context, right? So because of where we work as DigiBiz Africa, we've learned that some of our provinces in the country, they have different barriers, right? So for example, Free State, Northwest, Limpopo, and Mpumalanga are very underserved when it comes to digital programs. So first things first is to know, does my audience understand what I'm trying to give them? Because a lot of the times we go into spaces knowing the value of these digital skills and digital programs, and then we just dump them on people, right? And then we find it's hard for them to engage with us. It's hard for them to sign up for our programs and so forth. So we go on the ground and do a lot of stakeholder engagement. And we ask people, are you familiar with Adobe Photoshop, for example? And we do like a simple quiz on WhatsApp, right? We ask them basic things that gives us an understanding of where they are. And then when you narrate your conversation online, when you start using social media to bring people into your space, you know exactly how to speak to them. Because a lot of the times we know that the information is available online, but other people don't know that they don't know. So we try and meet them where they are. So it's very important to have a good understanding of who are my people, you know, and then that will help you in narrating that story on social, creating the right content, and to bring them into that space and give them the relevant training.
Yeah. I'm wondering, we've got Clamelo's question around if you now go about, you want to attract customers. I think that's his question, you know, sort of, Brian told his story of knocking on doors with his business card. Perhaps that's not necessary nowadays anymore. So let's say we are now Clamelo's business advisor, and we want to work with Clamelo in creating a framework to go use digital resources, tools, systems, processes in making it much easier to attract new customers. And we've heard a lot of stuff about first knowing what it is that you want to do, what you want to achieve. I think all of us in the room said that. You know, thank you very much for reminding us. It's not just going out, oh, we're going to digitalize now. It's what is it that you want to achieve. So he wants more customers, and he wants to go digital. How can we plan and execute a simple project, a straightforward project? Because also everyone in the room today mentioned start with something that's quickly achievable. Don't go for the big bang, kind of like we're going to solve every problem of the business at once. So perhaps if we can, and then I think we're going to be out of time too. I would love to hear what Sifiso and Mvuyo and Abe, what they take away too, you know, sort of towards the end of our discussion. But that's maybe something just to give some practicality to planning and executing a digitalization project.
Brian, you are unmuted. Do you want to say something quickly, and then we'll...
This is one of my favorite topics to talk about, actually, because I'm very much in the building of relationships and working with client space. So I typically wear the sales and consulting hat. When it comes to this, there are, and a lot of it's got to do with the kind of business that you're running. Mm-hmm. If you have a business that is able to push out a product fairly quickly, so let's say a web development company, you're a web development company, that's a kind of a business that you can use a digital marketing strategy to push far and wide, okay? If you're a business like a Khayelitsha Cookies, it might be difficult for you to deliver a bag of cookies to Pofadder in the Northern Cape. That might be difficult. For me, I've always said when working with my clients, when you start to think about your digital presence, most often people will jump online, look at your website and some of your social media just to help establish credibility in their mind. Okay? Who is this person? Are they legitimate? Are they going to run off with my money? Can they deliver what they've said? And maybe who have they dealt with in the past? So you want a good website, and you want a little bit of traction online in order for you to have a bit of a digital business card so that people can say, okay, there's Xolani, there's Carol, I know a little bit more about them, I can see what they've done, and I'm a lot more comfortable to do business with them. That would be the initial outlay when you look at your digital strategy. From then, you need to take a look at what is your digital strategy going to do in order to bring in the work. Now, it's crazy because every now and again, we do meet a unicorn that makes 5 Instagram posts and the business blows up. But that's a unicorn. That's a unicorn. I see Xolani's nodding. If it was that easy, Xolani would have sent 5 Instagram businesses and Instagram posts, and his business would be where it is today. But that's not the reality. That's not his story. The reality is that you have, again, it depends on the kind of business you are, and you need to have a firm understanding of that. In the business that I do, okay, I work with clients and I work with them around the country. I also work, my bulk of my client base is in Cape Town though. But I am a face-to-face people person because the South African market is a touchy-feely, huggy market. It's one of the reasons why online shopping took a long time to establish itself in South Africa. We've got the trend, but South Africans love to walk into the shop and touch the pen and go, oh, this is a nice pen. This is exactly the pen I want. That's South Africans. As Takealot has broken down those borders, it means that the business model, people have become more comfortable. But I used to get many questions even up until the early, like 2010 era, where people would still contact me to say, is it safe to put my credit card online? So when you sit and think about your digital presence, think about what are you first trying to achieve? Get the digital business card out there. So that if people looking for you, they know where to find and they've got something to click on. The link to your, and again, maybe it's your LinkedIn profile, your Facebook page, your Instagram handle, a WhatsApp support telephone number, you know, something like that, that people know, an Instagram account, people know where to go and find you. Then the next is, how are you going to tell your story on your social media? People like stories. I'm here today, I'm doing this, look at the way our cookies are baked. This is how our product is developed and delivered. This is how we get it to our customers. We tell that story. People want to hear your story. They want to see, they want to share in your success. They want to see that you're real, that you're genuine, that you have the values that align with their values. Then they're gonna look to do business with you. So I'd say that's probably Christoph, that's probably an entire other webinar. But that's a little bit to whet your appetites for now.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Brian, for those insights as well. Carol, is there anything else you want to share before I bring in my colleagues as well? While they're gonna, you're good. Perfect. You see, I like videos.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Let's start with Sisnomvuyo. Hi, how are you?
What a webinar. Thank you, Carol. Thank you, Polani. Thank you, Brian. So very uplifting. And if I am to summarize the key things for me that I took is one, what Carol started with, to say, you know what? Technology is not a new thing. So let us not be afraid. It's not a new thing. And then also that we are leaders of our businesses, but that we need to create a culture in our businesses. Mm-hmm. In this journey that we are taking, we need to take our people with. And both Brian and Kolani just explained it so well, that we need to take our people with. But lastly, what I want to just finalize on what I learned today or was reminded of is that no matter what digital technology is available, the basics of the business stand. What problem are you solving? For who? And what experience does that person want to have? And you just deliver on that. So thank you so much. It was very, very, very informative. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thanks, Sisnomvuyo. Over to you, Abe. Abe, anything or thought before I go to Sriso?
Yeah, thank you so much. Firstly, thank you, Kulani, Carol, and Brian. What I took from today is that the divide can be closed. We can close the divide. There's a bridge that we can walk over, and there's a fear of walking over, but you have given us practical ways of how we can connect with technology. Entrepreneurs a lot of times see the dots, but they can't connect the dots. And you've also helped us to see that. And Carol, I'm taking a statement that you said, plug in technology. So how do I use technology to plug it into my various programs that I have? And I'm definitely took a lot from the session. I think DigiBiz, respect, hands up for what you have done and created. And I will definitely be in contact with the panel in terms of how. And the one thing I think taken from you, Tulani, scalability impact. We still connecting with 50, but we can connect with 5,000. We can connect with more. And that is what I can see how institutions of higher learning can do a digital revolution, but they need the basics, and the basics has been proven. So thank you so much.
Great. Thank you very much, AB. Over to you, Butsviso.
Thank you, Sister Rebecca. First, I can't resist Abby's fantastic hat. I love it. Thank you. Yeah, I think today it's just a fantastic day. I think it's just so it just makes you realize, I think, that there is so much that is to be done in this space. And for me, I think for the first time since the conception of DigiBiz, I see the real palpable value of DigiBiz. And I just wish I see 80, 90 people in the room, and I'm wondering how many of them are entrepreneurs. And I'm just saying we need to be reaching so many entrepreneurs with this message. And I think I'm already thinking, you know, how can we get the whole ecosystem to really tune into this conversation? Knowing how many players, how many incubators, accelerators are working with entrepreneurs, and almost ignoring this big subject of technology and how entrepreneurs can use technology as a great enabler in their businesses. So thank you very much, Carol. Fantastic work. And Brian, Olani, thank you very much. And I'm sure we are going to have further conversations with you to actually see how we can take these messages, break them down further, and find ways to really make a difference and really make it happen for small businesses. Thank you. Fantastic. Thank you, guys.
Great. Thank you very much, Butsviso. Christoph, any thoughts?
I've got many thoughts. I'll share them on the platform, and hope others will share their thoughts too. As Sifiso says, it's the start of a journey for many of us. I'm looking forward to what we can achieve. By the way, Sifiso, I think the answer lies in us building our network ourselves, you know, sort of, so those that have showed up, we're interested in the conversation and sharing, collaborating, and we can bring the other people along that we think can contribute to and can benefit. So if we're 100 here and we each know 5, we can make it 500 soon, actually 600. So that is on digibiz.net. There's our email address is shared there, digibiz@the-epr.org, if anyone wants to reach out. Also, that those that wants to join the COPs, it's a bit.ly shortcode there, bit.ly/digibiz-COP. And of course, the most important is that you actually make sure that you join the network at digibiz.net.za, just as the last few announcements from our side.
Great. Thank you very much. Yeah, and there's no questions. We've answered all of those questions. I'm so excited. We finished the whole Q&A. I think Brian should be our personal ChatGPT. He was going there, typing hard. We don't need ChatGPT, we need Chat Brian in our lives. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Kolani. Thank you, Carol. And I think, are we done? Is this us?
We're waiting for you to play a song of the weekend.
You know, I feel like I'm under this
nice one
pressure.
that's going to put the vibe in. But I see Wilfred is asking, he couldn't attend the whole show because of load shedding or something. It will be on the network. We will share there. So Wilfred, just join there and you'll be able to get access to all the information and also the conversations that are going to follow after.
Okay, perfect. You know who I'm going to play in honor of our greatest rock star? I don't know who you think I might play. Feel free to say.
Tina.
Ah, you see, you can tell. You can tell the generation here. Space.
I was at the show on at Newlands. Way back.
Oh, wonderful. I'm going to share it properly. But I can't share because I can't.
No, stop. Not like that.
Is it not right?
It's not working. It's not working. The sound is not working.
Okay, let me stop.
You
see now, the pressure is too much.
Yeah, you need a tech consultant, by the way, sort of that's going to show you how to make a virtual cable from your playing through Spotify onto Zoom.
Say that again?
Isn't it so, Brian? You can make a virtual cable inside your computer that you don't get the distortions and sounds and so on. And
yeah, you can, when you share your screen, you tick the share audio. And
yeah,
take the audio straight onto your share.
Yes. No, Christoph was sharing, so that's why I couldn't share. Sorry.
Yeah.
okay. So you'll play the song still. Let's hear it.
I'll play the song still because we are.
There you are.
I turn your cameras on and dance.
Guys that are attendees, you can't turn your cameras on, so you'll just have to dance on your own. I'm sorry. We see the hearts coming. You're simply the best. You can make that our theme song. Right, Brian, Carol, Kulani, you guys were rock stars as well today. Very informative, very practical.
You can go to the beach now, Tabeta. Yeah?
Right, I must get ready for the BIZ Clinic event with Sina. So guys, we'll have to stop soon. I'm sorry, my party can't start yet. Great, everyone. You're simply the best. You see, people aren't even going. We still have 50 people in the room to make. We will have to promote you to DJ soon.
Lots of love to everyone. Take care of yourselves mentally, spiritually, physically. Be kind to yourself. Lots of love to you all and have a wonderful week, and see you soon.
Cheers, everyone.
When's our next session?
We've got we'll advertise the events. That's why you need to be on the network so that you know what's happening when.
Okay, awesome. See you on the network. Lots of love. Bye.
Thank you.